On today's episode, we talk about a big decision the Patriots need to make, as well some big-time happenings around the NFL. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's July. Another ridiculous list I got to drop. I got to show you because it's going to make you laugh. That's how ridiculous it is. So buckle up. Let's roll. My name is Aaron. On the daily Patriots content, don't miss out. All you got to do, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and do me a favor, hit the like button for goodness sakes. So let's jump right into it. The edge rushing group, Mike Vrabel has already said time and time again, he likes this group, does not plan to add to this group going into training camp. Now, everyone continues to try to connect the Patriots to some big-time free agents, but listen, Mike Vrabel is stuck to his guns saying, listen, I like what we have. But there is a very interesting situation in the edge rushing group that we have really yet to discuss on this show, and that is Quintavious Hutchins. He is the 7th round draft pick out of Boston College, the local guy who is in some legal trouble. So he pleaded not guilty not too long ago to an assault and battery charge for an alleged incident involving a family member or member of the household. That was reported by CBS Boston back in May. Now, he was a big-time standout edge rusher for Boston College. Obviously caught the eye of the Patriots, of Zach Core, of Mike Vrabel, and said, hey, this guy has the potential to come in and be a rotational piece. Him and Gabe Akis were the only ones who were drafted as edge rushers for this Patriots team. A positional group that we know going into the draft, going into the offseason, was something that needed to be addressed. And I think they did a good job for the most part. Now the big question is, though, as we look at this Hutchins incident, this whole story, he is scheduled to return to court on August 28th, which is one day after the Patriots' last preseason finale. And then on the 30th, ladies and gentlemen, at 6 p.m. is when every NFL team has to decide, has to cut down, trim down to that 53-man roster. So Hutchins, he can come in and have a great training camp. I think that's going to be his big ticket, hopefully, depending on what goes here. I'm not saying he's guilty. He's not guilty. I don't know the situation. I can't give you details. But what I am saying is it doesn't necessarily look good for him that this is happening when the Patriots have to make cuts. If they cut him, which I will tell you, there's actually another guy that I see potentially making the 53-man roster, which we will look at in a minute, over Hutchins. But if he doesn't make it and he ends up getting his charges wiped, essentially, then I see him potentially going on the practice squad for the Patriots. Now, when we look at some depth pieces, I want this to be known as well. In 2025, the start of last season, 5 edge rushers were kept. That was Landry, Chason, Keon White, who was ultimately traded, Jennings, and then Elijah Ponder. Now, as we look as well, Jennings gone as well. But as we look at this list, you have Harold Landry III, Draymond Jones, supposed starters. Elijah Ponder, the big-time undrafted free agent. Then you have Gabe Akis, who is yet to sign. Hopefully signs. Cross your fingers. Those 4, I feel like for right now, I'm comfortably saying are locks. And then you have Swinson, who is on the practice squad. You have Quintavious Hutchins, Xavier Holmes. And the question is, who's getting that 5th spot? Now, I think a lot of people have said Swinson has promise. He has the long athletic body where he's put on some muscle. He's put on some weight. He has at least 1 year under his belt technically in the NFL, which is great. But then Xavier Holmes, a guy who was in Maine, played football at the University of Maine, and then ended up going to James Madison, had a great year there, decent size, athletic, high motor. I actually have him making the team over Hutchins. I know that's wild, but ultimately, if I had to guess, I'm saying 53-man roster, chances of making that. Because I think as that gets close, as this situation, they kind of see it play out, they're probably going to get more information, whether or not they're like, hey, we're going to keep them, we're going to drop them. But I think as of right now, if you were to say who are the 5 they're going to keep on the roster, I'm saying Jones, Landry, Gabe Akis, Elijah Ponder, and then I would probably tell you Swinson is the guy. But Xavier Holmes going into training camp, I think you need to keep a more of an eye on him as opposed to Hutchins. Hutchins I feel like is just on thin ice with this whole situation. I truly believe again, whether he is guilty or not, what I'm trying to say is it is tough to go into a situation where you have potential looming legal trouble and you're literally trying to make an impression on your employer. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily look good. So I think best case scenario for Hutchins is he makes the practice squad. Worst case, he's just dropped. That's what I think. I think Xavier Holmes makes the 53-man roster over him if there is that potential, but I think it is Swinson who locks in that 5th spot. So comment below, what are your thoughts? A situation we have not talked much about, as I said, Hutchins, as well as those depth pieces at the edge position. What do you think it looks like when they get down to that 53-man roster cut? And again, I'm not saying the man's guilty or not. I have no idea. The court will play that out, but it might be something that literally the Patriots just want to wipe their hands of and not deal with. So comment below, what are your thoughts? Who is that 5th guy for the Patriots? Would love to hear from you. Comment below. Now, we said, listen, there's some other stuff that we need to talk about in the NFL. Jaden Daniels on his Instagram or Twitter, I don't know, Instagram, I believe, he posted this and then deleted it. And all he said was to Brandon Ayuk, enjoy your retirement, pal. So, yeah. I don't think he's going to the Commanders. Don't think that's happening. So that's all I got to say about that. I thought it was just kind of ridiculous and funny. So comment below. What would you say? Brandon Ayuk, is he going to land on his feet? Yes or no? My guess is, as of right now, no. Last but not least, I told you, it's the day. It's July. It's list time. A lot of people want to come out with lists. This is the rankings of the 2026 tight ends going into this season. There's some people on here that I would tell you, okay, yeah, Brock Bowers, 100%. Trey McBride, 100%. Colston Loveland, sure. George Kittle, sure. There's a lot of guys on this list. There's other guys on this list that you're like, how in the world are they on this list? One, because they haven't even taken a snap in the NFL, but 2, over Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, who literally has been a solid, tried and true staple for the New England Patriots, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't make this list. Now, I'm here to say, I truly believe a lot of times these lists are made are for engagement, are for to get under people's skin. It's either that or the people making this list are just truly incompetent. Because some of these, like Kenyon Sadiq, for instance, great tight end at Oregon. He's a rookie, has not played a down in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. He is on this list at number 12. Over Hunter Henry. Over him. And his quarterback is Geno Smith. So what do you think? They're just trying to trigger us. They're trying to get under our skin. For sure. For sure. So comment below. Tell me your thoughts. Would love to hear from you. This list bogus. Where do you put Hunter Henry on this list? At least top 10. At least top 10, for sure. Comment below. We'll talk later. Peace.